And welcome back to the show. COVID-19 and the murder of George Floyd have helped to spotlight and reveal the huge disparities in Black and brown communities, especially in Black business. A coalition of clergy, business, and community leaders are coming together to help bring life back into the economy and to recharge Black-owned businesses. Joining us to share more details is the president of the New York Christian Times, and he's also the founder, and Reverend Dennis Dillon. We thank you so much for being with us.
It is a pleasure to be with you, sir, and I just want to salute you for your hard work, and it's good to be at BronxNet and on your show open.
Well, thank you for being with us, and certainly a great conversation, a great time to have you on. I want to get the opportunity to share a little bit about your conference, because what you're trying to do is we want to see a resurgence in Black business. I gave a little bit of an intro, but for those who may not be so familiar, take us a little deeper in depth.
Well, the whole concept of resurgence is to really begin to look at, I know the President of the United States is talking about bring back businesses better. Our focus is to bring Black businesses back better. When you reflect upon the fact that Crane's New York business, who have always done their book of lists every year that shows the 25 top minority firms in the United States, in New York rather, and to find, if you look at their 2022 list, of the 19 largest minority-owned firms, 0 of them happens to be Black. That was not the case 10, 15 years ago when you had 9, 10, 11 of those top 25 businesses being Black. It's only 19 on the list this year, 0 Black-owned businesses. So our mission and commitment is, what do we need to do to really bring Black businesses back and to bring them back stronger?
And as you have this conference, obviously that is the goal, to bring business back stronger. We understand that there are so many people out there who rely on small business in order to make it, and mom and pop shops, as well as bigger corporations. Where are we falling short in this area, and why is there this gap?
Well, I think the biggest issue, we could have a long conversation about that, but just to cut to the chase, I think the biggest problem that we have discovered in the Christian Times, we've been working with literally thousands of Black-owned businesses for the past 30 years, since we did the first Black Church Means Business Conference at the Jacob Javits Convention Center. The first and the biggest issue happens to be access to capital. And that's why we're bringing together this year, November 17th and 18th at the Brooklyn Navy Yard, 15 major lenders. It includes 3 conventional banks, Carver, Chase, TD Bank, and others, and a host of other community-based lenders that will be doing what we call micro loans and even character loans to really help Black businesses to really get moving again and to begin to get to the level that we need to go to.
You mentioned Carver, and I grew up where Carver was on 125th Street, remembering back in the day how they really played a part in helping to sustain the community. And sometimes those are opportunities that sometimes you don't necessarily get in other banking institutions. Talk to us a little bit about the partnerships that you have, because certainly they are key and critical, because one of the things that Black businesses and minority businesses will always say is there's always this lack to the access of resources. And unfortunately, it is almost us having to bail us out.
Yeah, I appreciate the fact that you mentioned Carver, because Carver, who have made a commitment that at least 80 cents out of every dollar will be loaned back into the community, have been very consistent in their commitment. And when we look at PPP loans and others, when many conventional banks, who by the way get the giant share of the Black consumer dollars in deposits, I don't even want to probably go over those numbers. They're stunning. The billions of dollars in annual deposit that these major banks get. And when you're looking at lending to Black community, particularly, we're talking about commercial loans, it is almost virtually non-existent, and it goes across the board. So I'm happy that some of the banks are saying we want to change that. We want to look at equity and justice, but certainly Carver, who has committed to doing many of the microloans in addition to the conventional loans, they're at the table and others are at the table. We want to make sure that folks get the funds that they need. And again, we're talking about character loans whereby your clergy leader or your elected leader, on their recommendation, businesses will be able to access some of these microloans from many of the lenders that are coming to the table. I hate to start calling out names because we're excited that there's some 15 of them that will be with us.
That's a great number to be able to have those people come to the table and be able to offer resources when we talk about trying to close this gap economically. And I know you've been doing this for a minute, but talk to us about where we are today as opposed to in years past. What do you sense to be the atmosphere and the climate of where we are today?
I think, we've lost a lot of, Black-owned businesses during the pandemic. But I also think, more importantly, the George Floyd crisis has highlighted, or the George Floyd murder, which is really what it was, has really helped to highlight the disparity in our communities. And I'm very happy that so many corporations have decided, wow, we're going to have to do something around turning this around. So corporations coming to the table with a commitment to bring dollars to support Black-owned businesses, to look at pathways to progress, pathways to empowerment, pathways to transformation. How do we look at the issues that we will cover in the conference, by the way, around affordable housing development? We've pulled together a team of Black developers to address issues around real estate development, whereby it is not the predatory developers alone. I'm not sure that we're going to get rid of them overnight, but now we want to look at I think at the end of the day, the Black community need to begin to have the economic stake in their own communities. I believe that we have to begin to create what I call a culture of commerce over just a commerce of culture in our communities. And that's going to happen when more of us are doing business, more of us are developers at the table. I appreciate the mayor's commitment to help to advance this process and to play a role in this. So we're looking to bring together HPD and the Department of Small Business Services and the Department of Contract Services, the DASNY, the New York State Dormitory Authority, and all of these agencies, City College and Medgar Evers, and the list goes on as to who will be a part of this resurgence journey. And the reason why this is reSURGEnce 2023 and not reSURGEnce 2022, even though this kickoff event is in 2022. We want to make sure that this is not just an event. So it's not just what will happen on November 17th and 18th, but more importantly, it's what will happen after that. How do we make sure that the goals we set, we're able to meet these goals? We have goals around, getting more Black businesses MWBE certified. We have goals around getting more Black businesses to get loans of under 50,000, loans above 50,000. We have goals in every one of the 8 categories that this conference is focused on. So those are just some of the very specific things that will facilitate our journey forward.
So how does somebody get in touch if they want to be a part of the conference? What do they do?
The best way is, again, to find us online, reSURGEnce 2022 or reSURGEnce2023.com. Either of them will get you there. You can certainly get more information. And of course, we encourage and recommend that folks can give us a call at 718-638-6397. That's 718-638-6397, and information will be provided then. And listen, I'm extending an invitation to you, sir. I would love for you to come and maybe moderate one of the panels as well.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's look at the schedule, see if we can make that happen. All right.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
All righty. The Reverend Dennis Dillon, want to thank you so much for joining us and being with us here.
Well, listen, sir, thank you. We appreciate your work and all that you do, and keep up the great work.
All righty. The Reverend Dennis Dillon. And if you want more information, don't forget to go to reSURGEnce 2022. And let me make sure I got this correct here, reSURGEnce2023.com. All right. We've got more show. We encourage you, don't go anywhere. Open continues coming up right after this.